Wait a few seconds because sometimes my computer is stupid when it comes to Facebook Live. All right. Hello, this is Liz Shepard, and as you can see in the Facebook discussion that I put on there, this is a part of my News 233 final exam project. Today I'm going to be interviewing 3 people about their smartphones and how they use them, what they use them for. These are just some of the questions I'm going to be answering today because I found data recently on how often millennials, if you like that word, millennials or young adults, use their phones. So with that being said, I'm going to have my first guest come over and join me here on the couch.
Oh, good Lord. Hello.
And I love how one of my interviewees is also watching this video as we speak. So that's fun.
Good job.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have you state your name for the audience. And then also, if you don't mind showing off your phone and talking about it a bit.
State your name and occupation.
Yeah, basically.
My name is Evan Shutley. I am a freshman here, and this is my phone. I do not know too much about it. It's an LG G5, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong about that. I don't really know.
So what do you really use your smartphone for? Like, what do you mainly use it for?
Music, majorly.
Like, do you have it downloaded on your phone, or do you watch it, like, on YouTube?
On my phone, I just use Spotify.
Okay.
I got Spotify Premium, and I use that religiously. Outside of that, texting a little bit, but not too much, and the occasional call from my parents.
Gotcha. So how much do you think you use your smartphone, like, on a weekly basis?
On a weekly basis, for music alone, a lot. But outside of that, I very seldom use it. It's mostly just my music device.
So this is kind of a random question for you, but why have a phone for your music instead of, like, an iPod or some other, like, music playing device? Just
convenience, really. I mean, because if I do have a text or something on here, even if I'm listening to music, I can go right to it. I don't have to have 2 separate devices. So convenience and affordability, really.
Gotcha. So going off of affordability, how do you afford, like, your phones? Like, do you have, like, a data plan set up?
Probably.
Probably. Is it, like, through your parents'
Yeah,
account?
it's through
Okay,
my
gotcha.
parents' account, so I wouldn't know 100%.
Gotcha. And then you said you mainly use your phone for music. What are your thoughts on recent views related to millennials being too connected to their phones?
Look, there's always been that debate. This is my soapbox here. There's always been that whole thing of, like, millennials, they're too attached to their devices. You know what we're using those devices for? We're using it to connect. We're using it to, talk to people, spread messages of stuff we believe in. We're not just, plugged into this great machine because we have nothing better to do with our lives. Well, some of us, but, still, we're using it to connect with people who we would normally be unable to connect to.
All right, and is there anything else you want to add about smartphones?
About smartphones? Geez.
Maybe the positive and negative aspects of owning one.
Positives, it's convenient. Like I said, for me, if you have internet connection or data connection of any kind like that, it's super convenient for that. I stream tons of music on here.
Mm-hmm.
Negatives, yeah, there is always that, people do get over-connected and stuff, and that's always a problem. But outside of that, I'd say the positives outweigh the negatives.
All right, gotcha. Well, thank you for joining me.
Well, thank
Much
you.
Appreciated. With that, I'm going to have the second guest come over, answer similar questions. So for those who are tuning in, you are also watching it too. I just saw your name on there. But for those who are just tuning in, this is a project, final exam for me. I'm studying young adults and their smartphone usage, which is always fun. So go ahead and state your name. Let me angle this a bit better. Go ahead and state your name and what kind of device you want.
My name is Bonnie DeBole, and I own a Samsung Galaxy S7.
And what do you mainly use your smartphone for?
Games and apps.
What type of apps in particular?
Social media.
So like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat?
I don't have Snapchat.
Okay.
Tumblr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also, when I'm commuting to and from work, I have audiobooks from my library on it.
So you listen to them on your way to work. Okay, that's cool. Cool. So how much do you think you use your smartphone on a weekly basis?
I definitely use it every day, Since I do work 8 hours a day, I don't really use it when I'm at work. But I would say total time per day, I would say maybe 4 hours
Okay.
on and off.
So going off of that, if you didn't own a smartphone or any phone in particular, what do you think you would do for like your apps or games? Like, would you just not have access to them anymore, or would you have like a substitute for it?
Well, I would have my computer obviously at home.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wouldn't have a substitute. I wouldn't be able to, connect with people, and I would feel very shut off.
Yeah.
I've been through that before, because there was a time when I could not afford my phone, and I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a phone until I was 19, and I had to pay for it myself because my parents refused to get one for me.
Yeah.
So
I guess, if you don't mind me asking, like, how did that feel? Because I feel like we've all kind of grown up in a world where, like, technology is just this huge thing now that we can't escape from. So did you ever feel, like, left out because of not having that?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did, very much so. When I didn't, before I had it, it was kind of a thing of you can't miss what you've never had. But I definitely felt the isolation.
Yeah.
Of not having a device.
And another question for you. You said for your phone bill, I'm assuming you're still like paying for it, like.
No, this is not connected to network anymore.
Oh, okay.
I had to drop it because it was too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I still use it on Wi-Fi when I can.
Okay.
And that works just as well. And I got a flip phone for my actual phone.
Gotcha.
So I use that for talk and texts, and this is a
just like
networking device.
Yeah.
It's like a mini laptop.
So what do you think are the positive and negative aspects of your device in particular?
It's a backup just in case I do need to call an emergency number and I don't have my flip phone with me or my flip phone's dead. It does still connect that way.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm on the road and I don't have access to Wi-Fi, I'm sorry, I'm going off a little bit.
No, that's totally okay.
When I don't have access to Wi-Fi and stuff like that, I don't get distracted while I'm driving. So, yeah.
All right, and do you have any final comments, concerns about smartphones?
While it's great to have one, don't let it distract you from face-to-face.
Thank you.
Like friends.
Like this.
Don't let this become a substitute for this.
Well, yeah, this is just another random point that I'm going to throw out there because my roommate and I have been discussing this. Just the fact that on campus, yeah, I know.
Sorry.
But on campus, we see people all the time just like walking literally like this.
Yeah.
Like phone to face, almost touching.
Yeah.
And it's just,
and
it's
that
gotten
can
kind
be
of
dangerous, and it's silly, really.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Thank you for joining me. It's much appreciated. Yeah. Here we go. And my final interviewee is blowing up my notifications right now, so that's cool. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and have him come over. Nerd. Don't play the video while the live video is playing on his smartphone, since that's what we're discussing. Wow. Okay, so go ahead and state your name and what type of device you own.
So my name is Andrew Miller. I have a iPhone 5S. So yeah, it's very cute.
Fancy, yes. Phone charms and all that. So on a weekly basis, how much do you think you use your smartphone?
I use my phone every day, easily.
For what specifically?
For a mix of reasons. Part of it is I have to have a phone for work.
Mm-hmm.
That way people can contact me.
So like group chats?
Group chats, emergency calls in case something happens, I need to make a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably the majority of the time is like Pinterest, Facebook, Magikarp Jump,
So social media and games.
social media and games.
Okay.
I'm not using it for work.
Gotcha. So how do you afford like what you have on your phone?
I'm on my parents' plan.
Okay.
That's how I afford it.
Gotcha.
So they set a limit of how much data I can use, and the rest I gotta ration.
Gotcha. And you said you mainly use it for like games. Going off of what I asked Bonnie earlier, what would you do if you didn't have a smartphone?
I mean, I've only had a smartphone for a little bit.
Like how long?
My freshman year of college, I didn't have a smartphone, and it was a mix of I got tired of people that like, oh, the professor's like, oh, pull on your smartphone and do this. I'm like, I have a flip phone.
Okay,
Good
so
luck
you
with
just
that.
gotcha.
Yeah. If I didn't have my phone, I'd probably just go about doing stuff.
So
Anyway.
going off of that, since you said you had like a flip phone coming into
Mhm.
college, did you ever feel like left out in like high school? Because I feel like I was telling Bonnie, just like technological age where we're just surrounded by all these new devices. Did you ever feel like left out because you didn't really have that right away?
I'm gonna agree. I didn't feel left out. Probably most of it's because I didn't have it, so
Mhm.
I didn't know what I was missing. Another part, I'm not the most social, so a lot of the things I am using my phone for are passive social. So like I'll pass things that have happened already or pictures. Not a whole lot of like active communication through the phone.
Gotcha. And then final question for you, positive and negative aspects of owning a smartphone. And also if you want to throw in thoughts of like how you feel with millennials constantly being like this, you can do that too.
Alright. I'm gonna have to say it is really handy to have a computer in my pocket. It's really good. Like if I don't know something, I can look up really quick. Drawback to that is it gets frustrating when there's no internet or there's no connection.
Yeah,
Because
Ball State Wi-Fi.
then it's like I have this tool that can't do its job, so it's one of my pet peeves. As far as millennials or whatever you want to call them, just people in general using their phones, it drives me crazy because my job is to interact with people, like have face-to-face conversations, and it's hard to do that when they're literally glued to their phone and like say hi and they don't look up and they don't even like acknowledge you because they're so focused on what they're looking at. So it is a little annoying and frustrating.
Yeah. Okay, do you have any final comments, concerns that you want to throw out there? Just going to wave at the camera.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So
All right,
thank
thank
you. Much appreciated. And that being said, I'm going to wrap things up. If you tuned in for the Facebook Live, again, this was a News 233 final exam project. Tried to be as formal about it as I possibly could. I know you guys were probably thinking, oh, she's in a wig. It'll be something crazy and fun. But I had fun with this, so that's always cool. And my last interviewee is blowing up my notifications. But with that being said, thank you if you tuned in to my final exam project, or part of it anyway. And I'm going to put this all together and make something about young adults and smartphones. Yay!